Hello and welcome to Bulletin 136. A few interesting cases. The first Todd and Todd, a South Australian case, was one where the issue of equalising distributions, which was required by the will, whether in fact capital gains tax on assets that various beneficiaries had received should be taken into account. Basically, there were 4 adult children. They all received certain interests in properties, and then the matrimonial home was sold, and the idea was that the proceeds of that sale would be used to equalise the value of the benefits that each of the children received under the will. Could capital gains tax or should capital gains tax be factored into that equal distribution? The court said no. Value meant what it said, the market value of the properties, and to hold otherwise they thought was clearly going to complicate things unnecessarily. And the reference to people getting a benefit, or the beneficiaries getting a benefit free of duty, duty wasn't considered to cover capital gains tax. So I think it's a practical and simple solution to a problem, but it was an appropriate one obviously for judicial advice, and that was the advice given. That was the construction of the provisions. There were 2 family provision cases, one of Kalandic and the personal representatives of the estate of Peterson. That was simply a compromise that had been reached between a brother and sister, which the court was happy to agree to. Basically, the daughter had moved in with her mother, and she moved in with her 2 children, and the mother had left the property, it was the Sandgate property, to her daughter, and the residue of the estate equally between her and her brother. In the event that property had been sold and another one purchased at Flaxton, and again the daughter had moved in with her mother, and the issue therefore was, under the terms of the will, it would have been an equal distribution of the whole estate between the brother and sister. They compromised on the basis that the sister received the Flaxton property and he received $100,000, and the court was quite happy to agree on that. The other one, family provision case, was Grimsley and Paul. They're a fairly classic stepchild situation. The stepchild's mother, who'd predeceased her stepfather, had left basically the whole of her estate to her stepfather. The estate was worth about $4.4 million. Under the stepfather's will, she received only $215,000. She was a 67-year-old single woman with some pretty serious medical conditions, and she had net assets of around $500,000. In the result, the judge considered that in lieu of receiving only $215,000, that should be increased to $750,000, and seemed an appropriate outcome. Certainly that was the order. I thought they're both interesting in just showing what the court's happy to do or agreeable to doing in these family provision cases. Of course, every case is different, as we know, but they're helpful guides, I think, when not dissimilar circumstances arise. Thank you.